The downfall of Tory Lanez's career started at the Roc Nation brunch in 2020. The Roc Nation brunch is a pre-Grammy event spearheaded by Jay-Z that dates back to 2011. Now, the Roc Nation brunch, again, Flakko never lies to you. The Roc Nation brunch is the closest thing to the hip-hop Illuminati. You got every A-lister at this brunch, and if they ain't there, they ain't an A-lister. Now, the brunch in 2020 included a lot of notable names like Dua Lipa, Jesse Reyes, Jonas Brothers, Chance the Rapper, Lana Del Rey, James Blake, and of course, the usual, T.I., Meek Mills, Kevin Hart. But this event in 2020 had two people in particular, had Megan Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez. Just by looking at these pictures, you couldn't tell that this was their first time meeting, like ever in life. That boy Tory Lanez raises God level. That boy Tory Lanez is too smooth with it. But Megan Thee Stallion necessarily wasn't interested in Tory Lanez. She was actually trying to play matchmaker with Tory Lanez and her best friend / assistant Kelsey Nicole, who came with her to the Roc Nation brunch. Now, she introduced Tory and Kelsey and encouraged Kelsey to pursue a romantic relationship with Tory. However, Tory had other plans for Kelsey. Tory and Kelsey did develop an intimate relationship, but it wasn't a romantic one per se. See, Kelsey wanted a relationship, but Tory was just interested in hitting and quitting it. So the Roc Nation brunch was January 25th of 2020. Tory was clapping Kelsey's cheeks for about 2 months, up until March when quarantine happened and Kelsey had to go back to Texas after contracting the virus. A state of emergency was declared in California on March 4th of 2020, and a mandatory statewide stay-at-home order was issued on March 19th of 2020. Being bored, not having any shows or nothing to do, Tory Lanez decided to start Quarantine Radio March 24th of 2020. Now, Quarantine Radio was instantly a hit. The premise of Quarantine Radio was to put on a live radio show on IG Live, essentially providing entertainment for an entertainment-deprived audience. The initial live stream peaked at 38,000 live viewers, but the word quickly got out and Quarantine Radio became a staple in the culture. Everybody was tuning in. Quarantine Radio got so popular that it began setting records. Quarantine Radio broke the record for IG Live viewers with the help of Drake on April 9th of 2020. Drake joined the live stream, and Quarantine Radio live viewers went up by about 180,000, surpassing 315,000, which was a record at that time. Taylor Swift held the previous record, which was 156,000 live viewers.
We got Drake live! Hold on. Don't say nothing yet. Let us give you your intro. Ultimate light skin. Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. With the help of the ultimate light skin, we just reached 246,000. Hey, we officially just broke the Taylor Swift record for 156,000 people live on her live. Drake, what are you doing?
At this point in time, Tory Lanez was the biggest thing on the planet. He had the biggest, most viral show on the internet at that time. And by default, the clout hoarders are going to assemble and try to get next to him. One of them being Megan Thee Stallion. And at that time was still an up-and-coming artist struggling for a second hit. She seen that Tory Lanez Quarantine Radio was getting 300,000 live stream viewers, and she seen a perfect opportunity for free promo and free clout, and decided she wanted to get next to Tory Lanez. Megan was dedicated to getting next to Tory Lanez, even if that meant screwing over her best friend Kelsey and getting into a three-way love triangle between Kelsey, her, and Tory Lanez. Megan Thee Stallion will ultimately invite Tory Lanez over her house for them to film an episode of Quarantine Radio.
Workathon, drop the peach emoji. Whoa! Hold on.
That would also be the first night that Megan Thee Stallion officially backstabbed her friend Kelsey and became intimate with Tory Lanez and officially created a three-way love triangle between the three. Tory was so clouded up at the time that Megan Thee Stallion wasn't the only high-profile celebrity chick with their eyes on Tory Lanez. Quarantine radio was a walking money sign to a lot of these celebrity chicks. Even Kylie Jenner had her eyes on Tory Lanez. She was all up in the comment section, commenting, being flirtatious. On July 2nd of 2020, Kelsey took a flight back to LA after being away for about 2 months. This will mark her official move to LA to stay with Megan Thee Stallion and be her full-time assistant. Kelsey and Tory Lanez were still communicating consistently, and she had no idea that Tory Lanez and Megan had been involved while she was away. While Kelsey was only in LA for about a week and a half, she was invited to a Kylie Jenner party by Megan Thee Stallion. The Kylie Jenner party has often been described as a small get-together. The party took place July 11th, and Megan and Kelsey arrived at Kylie Jenner house at around 3 p.m. Now, the party started off amazing. Megan was in the kitchen cooking up some nachos. Kelsey, Kylie, and Kylie's friends were outside playing beer pong. At about 6 to 7 p.m., Kelsey got super drunk after drinking all day and decided to take a nap. She woke up at around 10 p.m., came downstairs, and seen that Megan had invited Tory Lanez over, and Tory Lanez, Megan, and Kylie were chilling in the pool. Kelsey would later find out that Kylie urged and insisted that Megan invite Tory Lanez, and she actually reminded Megan after every hour to figure out what Tory Lanez ETA was, and safe to say Kylie was thirsty for that quarantine radio clout, and she wanted to meet this charismatic mini person in person. All right, that's a fact. Kylie was thirsty for that quarantine radio clout. Now, when Tory came, the night could be described as awkward, because once Tory Lanez came, Kylie Jenner was mesmerized by that quarantine radio clout, and Tory Lanez was rizzing her up all type of crazy. As you can see, Tory Lanez, Megan, and Kylie were in the pool.
We had to come kill the streets for 5 minutes. You said what?
I gotta switch up the music, the PD just came right
Okay. Tory, don't get my phone wet.
But Tory was really only paying attention to Kylie Jenner, and that got Megan super agitated. Megan's attitude as the night progressed, because Tory Lanez was trying his hardest to mac on Kylie, it became so noticeable that even Megan's friends encouraged her to leave the party because she was becoming a nuisance to the vibe. Now, eventually, her friends convinced her to leave the party, but she insisted that she's not going to leave the party until Tory Lanez comes. Tory Lanez convinced Megan and Kelsey to hop in the car with his security, and his security would drive them to his home, and he would meet up with them later. While on the ride home with Tory Lanez security at Tory Lanez estate, Megan came to the realization that when they left, there were only 6 people at Kylie Jenner's house. Megan, Kelsey, EJ, Tory, Kylie, and Tory's security. So if her, Kelsey, and Tory's security left, and EJ left when they left, that would mean that Tory and Kylie was at Kylie's house alone at 4 a.m., and this really disturbed Megan Thee Stallion. So Megan told Tory's security to turn the car around and go back to Kylie's house, but the security was not budging and he kept driving. So Megan decided to make up a story about how she left a slipper at Kylie Jenner's house, and that slipper was super important. Again, a multi-millionaire told a driver to turn the car around because a pair of slippers was really important to her. So the driver obliged and turned the car around, and once they got to Kylie's house, the security and Kelsey stayed in the car, and Megan was supposed to hop out, grab her slippers, and come back. But when Megan walked back into Kylie Jenner's house and opened up the front door that was unlocked, she was met by a scene that really disturbed her, and that sparked a huge argument between Kylie Jenner, Megan, and Tory. It's unclear what Megan walked in on that had her super upset, but a big argument between Megan, Tory, and Kylie sparked off, and Kylie eventually had enough and told Megan to get out. Tory Lanez, realizing that Megan done cock-blocked him to infinity and he wasn't going to be cracking Kylie Jenner cheeks that night, he decided to leave when Megan got kicked out. So when they got back in the car, an argument started taking place between Tory and Megan After Megan cock-blocked him to the nth degree, he was letting her have it. Kelsey stepped in and instructed Tory Lanez not to cuss out her friend, and she don't care what they got going on. He would now call her all types of bees and hoes. Tory then turned to Kelsey and told her, "Are you really defending Megan when she's been sleeping with me behind your back?" Megan then turned to Kelsey and told Kelsey, "Do not listen to him," and then turned to Tory and said, "Why will you tell her that?" Kelsey wasn't buying Megan's denial, and Kelsey decided to let Tory Lanez know in the vehicle that Megan had slept with her boyfriends in the past, citing the baby, citing Ben Simmons, and others as other men that Megan Thee Stallion had stole from her and slept with behind her back. Now, after Kelsey revealed this, the argument just escalated. Megan asked to stop the car once and hopped out, but she sat at a bus stop with nowhere to go, so Tory convinced her to hop back in an SUV and he would take her home. As they continued to drive, the conversation between Megan and Tory began to escalate, and once Megan insulted Tory Lanez's skills as a musician and told him that he was only famous and hot because he was on a remix of a Jack Harlow song, that apparently sent Tory Lanez over the edge, and Tory Lanez asked his driver to stop the car and said, "Please get these bitch out of my vehicle. This is my car. Let these hoe walk home." So Megan Thee Stallion and Kelsey obliged and said, "Yeah, stop the car. We'll get out and just take a Uber." So when they hopped out, after they both got out of the vehicle, a series of events took place that led to Megan Thee Stallion being shot in both feet. Now, we won't find out exactly who shot Megan Thee Stallion until about December 24th of 2022. That's when the verdict for the Tory Lanez trial will get read out. However, after Megan got shot, Tory Lanez was arrested. Kelsey did come in for questioning but was later released, and Tory Lanez has been put on trial. Since being arrested for shooting Megan Thee Stallion, Tory Lanez has been ostracized, blackballed, taken off playlisting, can't get booked for festivals, can't go to any award shows, and damn near blackballed from every industry event ever. And this is because he was arrested for shooting Megan Thee Stallion. But here's the thing. If Tory Lanez never started Quarantine Radio, he never would have gotten the attention and the clout that was so addicting to the clout hoarders that they had to get around him. Megan Thee Stallion probably wouldn't have been sleeping with him. Kylie Jenner probably would have never been captivating enough to urge Megan Thee Stallion to invite Tory Lanez to her house that night. You see, Tory Lanez could have avoided all of this. His career would have continued to soar. He would have continued to sell 80 to 100,000 copies first week, and his career wouldn't have plummeted if he didn't start Quarantine Radio. Quarantine Radio was the demise of Tory Lanez's career.